this party. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Women's Fittest. I'm here with some chick chatters, and Marissa Andrews is joining us as a little wild card.
Hey guys.
First of all, Marissa and Brooke are now 3 weeks out. Brooke, first, how are things going?
You know what? I think it truly varies day to day. And I think everybody, whenever you're prepping for a show, you're like, one day you're spot on and you feel great. And you're like, oh man, I look awesome. And literally the next day you're like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I need longer, So it's crazy. So overall, this has been the best prep that I've ever had. And I do know that I'm bringing my absolute best. So I'm pretty pumped about that. But at this point, I just have to not be my own worst enemy. So I just allow my coach to kind of like take the lead going forward. And just, if he thinks that I look good, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you've got Matt in your ear like all the time so that you can keep a positive mindset.
Yeah. And he's been awesome. So I'm actually here in Florida. So I'll see Matt tomorrow. And I'm just finishing off my prep here, just like eliminating everyday stressors that I do have at home have been huge for me. So it's been great. So this has been like I get to be like a full-time bodybuilder for 3 weeks. I love it.
That's the dream, man. That's the absolute dream.
Marissa, how are you doing?
I knock on wood, I'm doing really good. I'm doing like my mind is focused, my body is responding. Everything is just going better than I could have imagined. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we are wishing you both obviously the very, very best. Yeah. Brooke.
It'll go good. I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Deb,
One day at a time.
What's up?
Are you going?
No, I am not going, but I will definitely get the pay-per-view and I will be glued to my screen. I've said this before, I love the pay-per-view. I think they do a really, really great job, and it's very crisp, and it's really easy to, I think, kind of judge from home. Like, you have a really good a good eye for everything. So I love it, and that's what I'm doing. Are you going?
I am. I'm gonna be there.
Oh my God, you are?
Yes, I'm coming. I'm gonna be there. So if you two need anything, I'm gonna be helping Rachel out, and I'll be there if you need stuff. I'm around.
Tequila after the show. That's all I need from you.
I'm
Literally,
there.
if you're just on,
got
like, side stage with a shot of tequila to celebrate, that's all I need from you, baby girl.
I know. When in Vegas, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, so much fun.
I can't wait.
And it's moved over to Vegas now, so back to like the OG spot, which is really, really cool. It just, like, I've heard, I heard that Tampa was nice because it was all condensed and everything, but when you think of the Olympia, I mean, Brooke, don't you think of Vegas? Like,
yeah, I think Vegas is like more iconic, and so that's how I remember going to the Olympia. I've been to so many different Olympias just like as a spectator at first, and Vegas was amazing. I mean, I love Vegas, so to be able to go to Vegas and compete on that stage is going to be it's truly going to be like a dream come true. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to all the festivities after as well.
yes.
There's so many restaurants and like places to go. I have a group chat with a couple of the girls that I'm going with, and it's like we need to extend this week by like an extra week in order to go to all of these restaurants and places we want to eat at. And I'm like, they're gonna have to roll me to the airport at the end of the weekend.
That's how it should be.
Have
There's no other way.
Have you been to the Hash House A Go-Go? That's like the best restaurant ever.
I've never been to Vegas.
I love Vegas, but I've never been in the Hash House. So I love Serendipities. Oh my gosh, it's like gourmet dessert, but it's permanently closed. So I'm pretty upset about that.
You're speaking my language.
Right? It's like the frozen hot chocolate.
Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious.
That's what frozen hot chocolate is. Where?
Serendipity.
Oh. I know, like Hash House has like, I saw like people ordered chicken and waffles, and it was like it's like a platter, and it's like all this fried chicken, and it's
Like,
stacked waffles. I mean,
drooling.
they make things really
I'm being dirty right now.
Can you say that again, Deb, but like a little slower? So tell me how big the chicken and waffles are. Just put syrup on
drool
top.
down your face when you bite into it, and
Baby, I'm a woman of God, please. Just kidding.
I got like this giant burger, I remember, and it has like, they put a big knife in the center, and there's like onion rings stacked on top or something. Like, it's crazy. They're just like works of art. And it's not like expensive either. You know, you're like, you know, $15 or whatever for your food. I mean, for the size of what you're getting is craziness. It's crazy.
Awesome. Okay, so that's a spot.
Yeah.
We're going there.
Be right back, texting my chat.
Yes, you have to do it. You totally have to do it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I want to quick talk about something. So I was at the gym earlier, and there was a spicy person like
What?
spicing up the gym.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Text me separate. What does that mean? Someone help me.
Is that like good looking?
No.
No,
Like,
like stinky?
yes.
Oh, in my head, I thought you meant like stripper. I was like, what was she doing? Like twirling on the like the barbell? Like, I don't. What do you mean spicy?
That would be spicy.
It would be.
I would be for that. I'd be like, go, you do you. Yeah. And there was like other girls, and like people were maneuvering around this person, like trying to get away. And I was just thinking, like, Brooke, you basically own a gym, not own a gym, but you know, what do you do in that type of a situation?
So we've actually had some issues in our sauna recently, and it's been like it's a hard conversation that you have to have with somebody, but in the same regard, you have to have it because proper hygiene is so important, especially in a gym, you know. But I think what we've had to do in the past is just pull that particular person, you know, and just come up to them with and be sincere and just kind of let them know the problem and the issues that we've had in the past from it. I mean, they were really receptive. One time we had a kid and his hygiene was just terrible. And I'll tell you, Anthony went and took like some Lysol, went back to the free weight room and was like, dude, you stink. And he was like spraying him down, you know? But I think it's like person dependent, you know what I mean? But I think it's a conversation you have to have. You don't want to have it, but man, that's brutal.
It was
Totally
so,
brutal.
I felt bad because I was actually asking these girls, because I'm like, okay, maybe we need to give this person some grace. Like, I have been at the gym before doing lat pull downs and gone, oh, that's me. Like, I need to go to the locker room and put some deodorant on. But then, so they were like, oh no, he's like here all the time and he smells every time. And I go, is he wearing the same clothes? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, oh, so he's putting clothes in the gym bag. So I'm like, ugh.
Dirty.
Yeah. Yes.
But
I feel like if that was me,
yeah, you know when you smell bad, right? Like I just things like that drive me nuts. So how do you not know? He's walking around the gym and
if I didn't, I would want somebody to come up and be like, hey, by
Yeah.
the way, like, I would never want to be that person. You know what I mean? Like, that's my identifier is I'm the stinky person at the spicy person at the gym. Like,
spicy.
I would want someone, even if I didn't know them, to be like, hey, like, just so you know, like, this is the aroma you got going on. And like, I would fix it. But like, if nobody tells me and I like don't know, like, I had my nose done, I couldn't smell for like 2 months. And like, during that time, like, my family was like, hey, you gotta go shower. And I'm like, sounds good. But like, I couldn't tell. So like, I needed the people around me to be like, yo, you're disgusting. Like, you know, get in there, that kind of thing. But I don't know.
Well, and I felt bad too then because I was like, maybe he doesn't have a lot of money and these are his gym clothes and it, you know what I mean? So, but it also, he was definitely 16 to 18, 19 years old. So maybe like it was a high, I don't know. I just was like, I thought first I'm like, this is disgusting. And then my mind went crazy thinking about all the variables of like what the problem.
Right.
So,
At least you weren't stuck on a plane next to him.
oh
yes.
Yeah.
Would be really bad. I would really All right, ladies. Well, we have an agenda today. We're going to talk about the figure qualifiers for the Olympia and the wellness, which that is also why Marissa is here representing the wellness girls. So one of the things that we were just briefly talking about before we got on, and I think it's fair to discuss, there's a lot of people in every single category qualified for the Olympia. I didn't actually count everybody. Obviously, bodybuilding and women's physique have the least amount of qualifications, but still a lot. Brooke, I don't know if you know, I have it in here and I can actually probably count how many people.
Yeah, I don't know who all has actually qualified at this point, but I do know that the women's physique and women's bodybuilding, like you said, has the lowest numbers. But, with that, obviously, there's not as many qualifiers, Olympia qualifiers for women's bodybuilding and women's physique.
You're
And
such a
then-
cutie, Deb. You're so cute.
Brooke always just makes fun of my glasses. She's like, shit's getting serious.
I'll
man.
go get mine
Right.
on too, so I can actually see your guys' beautiful faces. Right now, you're just gorgeous little blurs.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry, Brooke.
No, you're fine. But no, I don't know the actual number on who is qualified for women's physique specifically.
Okay. I did screenshot. I think I screenshotted everybody.
Yeah, you sent me like 6. It's like
Well, actually, I didn't screenshot the women's physique. I just did the ones I knew that we were going to talk about because Brooke, you and we just kind of covered like from last year. So I didn't actually go off this list. So, but the point was that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. There's like 40 women qualified, 30 women qualified for figure alone. And we don't know if all of them are actually going. We don't know. Ooh, Marissa, look at you messing with your
In the middle of a podcast, that's exactly when I should start messing with my settings, huh?
I
I didn't want you guys to
sure-
see my like Christmas mess in the background.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay.
I'm sure some girls, and I think this is going to be clear across the board. I think that there's going to be competitors in each division that probably are going to qualify, but they're not going to compete for whatever reason. I think health issues. I think some people are still having issues with like traveling as
Traveling,
well.
yeah.
So I think that, that was the case last year for several people. So that might be the case this year as well.
Yeah. Well, so obviously Sydney is ever qualified being Miss Figure Olympia. And so if you guys look at the list here, I don't even know who some of these people are. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So Anna Gasior from Poland. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
Nope.
I know
Okay.
there's an Anna in wellness from Poland.
Maybe
That's
she
a weird
crossed
coincidence.
over. No, just kidding. Let's go to Instagram and
That's what I'm doing.
let's see here.
I think she won the Romania Muscle Fest. That was her qualifier.
Ooh.
Here we go. All right. Well, let's start with Sid because we all know and love Miss Vitamin C.
Look at her picture. That's awesome.
She's obviously, she's the GOAT, right? This is she's had 5 wins so far. Let's see if we can find here's some stage. From 2014 till last year.
Amazing.
She just keeps getting better and better and better.
Right. She puts on size in the right places and shape.
The bar just keeps she just keeps resetting the standard. That's
Yep.
so cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And beautiful. Obviously, I'll say this, I'm a face person as well. I think that's part of the package. And she just looks looks phenomenal head to toe. Okay. Natalia's Soltero.
Soltero.
Yeah.
She looks good. I really like her physique.
Yes, I do too. Definitely one of my favorites. Here we've got a stage.
Yeah.
Video.
Oh,
Beautiful.
she is gorgeous.
Definitely
Yeah.
another
I like her structure a lot.
Yep.
You know, I with figure there's a few different, obviously everyone has their own physique, but there's a few different like types of structures.
Mhm.
And I don't know, to me, the structure like Natalia's is the most appealing.
Yes, and you know, last year I think that she placed much lower. I think she was like 5th or 6th. It was really surprising. When the year prior she was, I think, top 3.
No,
So
I think she finished well at Olympia, and then I think at the Arnold this year is where her placement dropped.
okay, all right. I
Mhm.
appreciate that correction, Brooke. Thank you.
I believe that is, yeah.
Okay. And I don't really, yeah, I think you're right, because I think I remember watching that on the screen as well.
Mhm.
And it's funny how like I said, 2nd through 6th will kind of shift around, but then Jessica, let's find Jessica Reyes. There's
Yeah, I
another,
definitely think that she'll be a contender in that top 5 mix.
yeah,
I've seen I've seen her name popping up a ton.
Yeah.
And it's like I
this,
don't follow.
This
Yeah.
year, the 5.
gosh, yeah, this has been her like just best season yet, and she continues to improve as well. So I definitely think that she could get in that top 5 placement.
Can you click on the view replies on that one? Oh my God, there's Mel.
click on,
So like, what are the dates? Does she reply to say how far between? Like in the comments under
Wait.
Jackie Jimenez, the 3rd comment down. Well, right, yeah. Does she say how long between those 2 pictures? 7 years.
okay.
Amazing.
It,
That's dedication.
Mhm.
well, and this is another testament to the slow and steady wins the race, because even when you get your pro card qualification, which is kind of what we were talking about before, how more and more people are able to get their pro card, you're just now on a completely different level, and you're going to be years probably fighting for that top 5 spot, getting into that top 5 spot, right?
Mhm.
Digging those lines out, you know, you just saw with both Jessica and Sid, the development of, I mean, namely in their legs,
Yeah.
of that carving and the density within that
Mhm.
you can't rush that. There's no, you know, there's no way to do that quicker than the time that it takes.
This is one of my favorites, Lola Montez.
I love her.
Oh my gosh.
I love her look. She's got a
Yes.
great look.
I want to make sure that it's what is it? Because she has 2 accounts, and I dang it. It's not this one, because this is more of her OnlyFans.
Is it? It's the one next to it. Right
This
there.
one. Here we go. Here we go. I'm like, if Rihanna was jacked, it
Yeah.
would be Fit Lola.
That's the best compliment I think anyone's ever said about Eddie.
She's so gorgeous, and yeah, I can't, like, whoever thought like calves, you're like, oh, calves, but then you're like,
Oh, calves.
the calves like
The
freaking
calves.
make the girl. Let's see, where is I need a stage shot. This is, I mean, she's covered, so it doesn't show you how pretty she is, but her physique is just, and look at this, look how much her calves complete her legs. Like, it's
Mhm.
so, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I am just like such a fangirl of this one. She looks like Rihanna.
She's stunning.
Yes, she is stunning. It'll be really interesting because I feel like Lola and Jessica are both bigger and harder than Sydney. So I'm just kind of wondering how the lineup is going to look, because individually it's really hard to look at her. Oh my gosh, like it's just insane.
You know, it just depends, because some competitors, they can carry a harder, more dense physique and it works well with them. And then some competitors might bring in a little bit of a softer physique, but
Yep.
that looks well for their physique as well, you know? So it's kind of person dependent, but um Sydney obviously carries herself so well. The minute she steps on stage, you're just drawn to her. You know, she, in my opinion, is just the overall complete package, you know. I'm
Absolutely.
big on like the face as well. So she's beautiful. She's got a good physique. But Lola, I love her look too. And I think she's constantly improved. So this will be a good year for her.
Yeah. Is this not Nicole Zenobia?
Yes, that is.
She will likely be up there as well. Is she
Look
competing?
at that. Wow.
Let's see if we can get some stage. Um,
I think that's
Yeah,
is that a
posing
client?
fine.
oh, I'm like, this isn't. Sorry. I'm looking for a stage shot. It's kind of like, well, this will be a tip to have good put some of your physique shots on your Instagram. Here's from 2016 to 2021, and her back shot is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's going to be much improved too this year.
I just feel like there's just no room for error anymore. I think social media has contributed to this a lot, where everybody's under the microscope, and I think people are just more on it with their preps. Like there's no hiding in your off season anymore. You know, like it's all on social media. Here we
Right,
go.
you're on show all the time. It's not
Mhm.
just when you get on stage. People are watching you at all times. So
Yeah.
Somebody actually posed that question to me the other day. They asked how, so Melissa, you know, like in my off season, I get fluffy. And that's like one of my, I love food. I love the balance. And they asked me, they're like, well, if you were to somehow win the Olympia this year, how would that change how you go about your off season? And of course, with all of those eyes and that attention on you year round, I was like, I don't think I would feel comfortable getting as big as I normally do because of that extra view. And even just stepping on the Olympia stage, going forward into an off season, I can't get back to 40 pounds above stage weight. It's not, you know, that attention is still going to be there.
Yeah.
right. At the same time, though, like with that said, I feel like yeah, you might be inclined like that accountability will keep you from getting to that point more willingly. It won't, it wouldn't be a fight, but um it also I mean, I haven't been on the Olympia stage and I'm not this year,
Yeah.
but I feel like if something has worked for me and I have improvements to make, why would I change anything? And it continues to work.
And it's also
True.
nice to see a pro athlete get a little bit on the fluffier side. And Marissa, you did that too, because you had some size to put on. There's a difference between putting on size in the off season for tweaking than it is for like, hey, I really need to add some meat to me. And I think that's gonna like Brooke, you always say, is person dependent on what your goals are. So hey, who doesn't love Autumn Cleveland, right?
She's
Like,
such a cutie.
He's amazing.
oh my gosh. And she's such a beautiful freaking person too. Yeah. And the tenacity. I mean, this girl has been doing show after show after show to get her Olympia qualification and her win. And finally did it. Here's like an old.
Melissa, was it at the Tampa Pro that she qualified that we were at? Not the Tampa, the Hurricane.
No, she did not qualify at Hurricane. I talked to her after that show, and she said, she had her goal was to qualify for the Olympia. I think she said she was turning 35. I could be wrong. And it was like her 35th show or something like that. And she was like, she said her birthday was the next week, and it has to happen now at this next show.
Yeah.
And she got it at the one, whatever she did after Hurricane.
Yeah, they're right in Phoenix.
Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Arizona. But she was like, this is my last shot at reaching the goal that I set for myself years ago.
Rhea is one of my favorites too. I just love her.
We trained together down in Cancun when I went and lived there for like a month. It was me, her, and Connie. All three of us were training at the same gym for a little bit.
That's awesome.
She's strong as hell.
Yes. Well,
All I remember.
all the trained by JP girls are heavy hitters. They're like power lifters and like hybrid type training. And she's a teeny thing too. Well, Marissa, you guys the same height?
Potentially.
She's a shorty. Who else? Who else might be in there? Wendy Bertino, maybe?
Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia.
Let me see here. Let's go.
Melissa, I keep seeing your name pop up in these comments, and I love that so much. Just like the love that you're spreading is so amazing and beautiful. Like, that's so cool.
I'm in a really cool place where I'm like,
Bradford?
I love everyone and everything.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
That just made my heart so happy.
I'm not even trying. That's what's so like nice about it is like it's effortless. It just everything is happening.
Yes.
Dang.
Dang.
Like I scroll through my timeline and I see people and I'm like I have to tell them, like I have to say it.
Yeah.
Because in my
Well,
head,
that's nice though, because as a competitor, you know how guilty you can get in your head all the time. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, one day you feel good, the next day you don't feel great, you know? So having somebody that is like-minded and they get it, they understand because they've been there and done that themselves. Whenever they reach out and they're like, man, you look incredible, it gives you that extra like push to keep going, you know?
Yeah, it means so much. Like when another competitor will like compliment you, you know that that's not like BS. Like they wouldn't just reach out and say, and it's like always specific compliments. I feel like when they reach out, they're like, "Oh, you're this was looking really great," and it's like that means so much more. So
there's a mutual respect there.
yeah.
That's what becomes meaningful.
Who else? What do you think? Samantha Jering, probably, maybe. There's a lot. Like I said, I'm only touching on.
There's still like 30 more.
Yeah. So I just gonna yeah.
You know,
and next we'll go over all 75 bikini girls. Just kidding.
But the crazy thing is, at this level, like nothing is set in stone. So this is why it's so important that you're peaked properly and you are at your best, because any mistake that could kind of make or break you, you know. And that's even coming down to things like your suit, your tan, your hair, your makeup, things like that. So everything has to be completely and utterly polished for you come show day, especially at the Olympia, because you got to go in on show day assuming that every person is going to bring their absolute best to that stage.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Like, you know, Brooke, you were saying this is the biggest Olympia yet, and I feel like maybe 5+ years ago, you were getting more competitors. Like you would, you know, maybe 25% of the competitors were off, you know, and then in the last couple of years, there hasn't been as many competitors, but they've all been on. Like nobody nobody missed it. So now I'm curious if, since we have more people qualified, if there will be some that will be off again, or if it's just gonna look like holy cow, there's 40 bikini competitors and they all look like they could be the top whatever.
That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious to see how this
The quality.
quantity and quality work together.
Yep.
And if we do, because as I was saying before we started recording, one of my initial concerns when I saw the post about this being the biggest Olympia ever was that, okay, so it's a lot more people, but is it all going to be the freaks that we want to see?
Yeah.
You know, is it going to be the elite of the elite? Or is it going to be like all of the potentially elite? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shoelace. This, I feel like this is one too. I'm trying to think of like the names that I know are familiar after.
All I keep saying is these girls are sponsored by cookie companies, and I don't know what I'm doing. But if you're a cookie company watching this, your girl is not signed. So just putting that out there.
Marissa, you feel like that now, but you said you didn't want to gain 40 pounds this time. So
Oh no, I do want to gain 40 pounds. The internet doesn't want me to gain 40 pounds.
No, I won't go there because I can't. I don't want that shit in my house. Because like my thing is, if you're gonna send me 10 giant cookies, all different flavors, how am I gonna get the chance to try all of them unless I try all of them?
Absolutely.
No?
My friends and I are planning on doing a dessert charcuterie board when we come back. So like having like caramel dip, chocolate dip, marshmallow, and it's like getting a bunch of different stuff and just like
They're all in.
just going in.
That should be a thing.
It is now in this household. Come on over December 19th right here. We can sit next to the Christmas tree. It'll be great.
That sounds so
it's
fun.
actually a possibility. I honestly could, it's like you're within driving distance.
I don't give out invites fakely. All three of you are invited to come over to my house. Like,
well, I will come at some point. I'm flying straight from Vegas to Dallas to clear out my apartment there, which I still have.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I'm gonna drive back to Tampa.
When is that? When is that lease up, Melissa?
My Dallas lease is up December 27th, so I'm going on the 19th and getting whatever I have left there.
Who is this? Oh
I
my
don't know, but
God.
she looks I don't know that girl anymore. That girl got eaten. Those tiny ass little quads were couldn't be me.
Marissa, I went to order your t-shirt yesterday and I'm going to. I didn't yet.
Oh.
I was like, if I'm gonna wear someone's ass on my chest, it's gonna be Marissa Andrews.
I will sign it right on my ass for you. Be like, this belongs to Melissa.
I should have been wearing Brooke's shirt. I have your shirt, Brooke.
No.
I'm terrible. I'll go get it. People know. Are you still selling them, or did you was it limited and it's done?
Oh my gosh, I have like a handful left. Like I don't know what sizes, but I have a handful.
Okay. Brooke had a really great shirt. It's your Olympia picture.
I saw it.
Yeah.
And so you can just DM her if you want to get one of the ones that are left over. Yeah, that would be amazing. All right, Marissa, you're kicking it off with our wellness girls. Oh, and then, the other thing was when I sent you guys the screenshots, these are all the people that are qualified, but then there's 25 more that they shows the point system. So, who knows, to me, it's okay, if you qualified on points, then you probably would want to go for the experience, but without any expectation, which is probably kind of nice to just hey, maybe your goal is just to get on the Olympia stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although, I've had this discussion with a bunch of people. If you were to qualify off points, do you feel, as opposed to winning a show, do you feel like you should step on the Olympia stage? Would you take that? And some people have been like, nope, I won't do it unless I win and I really earn it. But then again, on the flip side, what if you are getting second place at all these huge shows and you just come in, you make those little tweaks for the Olympia, and then you're actually, you know, one of the top people?
Yeah.
You know, I think you should always strive to be at your absolute best for the Olympia, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, and I'm saying that in every different regard. So, like, nothing is set in stone. Just because you placed top 5 the year before doesn't mean you're secure that top 5 placement again. And there's people that are on all of these like lists that have qualified for the Olympia that nobody's talking about them right now. But I assure you, in 3 weeks at the Olympia, there's going to be some people that we had no idea they're going to show up and just maybe potentially get in that top 5 spot. You know what I mean? So I think you just never know what's going to happen. You never know how people are going to show up. You don't know how you look standing next to somebody either until you're right there standing next to them. You know what I mean? So obviously, I think we're all guilty at looking at social media and like picking ourselves apart or comparing ourselves to another amazing physique, but you don't know. You don't know how you're going to look in comparison to them until you step on stage next to them. You know, we're all going to put our like best photos on social media. I mean, we all are. I'm for sure going to put my best ones on social media, you know, but at the end of the day, you don't know how you look until you're standing alongside somebody. So somebody that you think is better than you, they might not potentially be better than you know?
Also, when you, like for me, when I'm looking at other people, I notice, you know, structural things about them that I really admire. But I often find, like, when I look at myself, I'm looking at structural things about myself that need to improve.
Absolutely.
So it's really hard to view myself as a full package. And then when I'm looking at someone else's full package, I'm mostly looking at the parts that impress me. And so I, you know, they look good overall. But then you put two people next to each other on stage and you can pull it apart, you know, who's better where, and, you know, whether it's genetically or peaking, how their conditioning looks.
It's Isa Pereira on
Instagram. It's Isa
P ISAP.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. And the thing with the points is that if you do, let's say, like 5 shows, place second at all 5 of those shows, those girls are first, second, third, fourth, fifth at the Olympia. You're 6th place at the, like, you know, like just because you're placing second doesn't mean that you're like gonna get last place at the Olympia. You're second place to these girls that are going to place top 5 potentially, you know? So I don't think that that should deter you from getting on the stage. And I think that the only way to get better is to compete against the best and
see where you stack up. Like
yeah.
I wouldn't, if I had the opportunity to go to the Olympia on points, I would go just to see. Like, Brooke, it's exactly what you said. Like, nothing is promised and you don't know where you're going to land. You don't know if you're going to qualify again. Like, I think you just, you know, you take the opportunity, even if it wasn't like from an actual win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't qualify last year, but does that deter me from competing against the girls this year that are qualified last year and are competing this year? So it's like things can change.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our whole thing is, you know, if we were deterred by a loss or a bad training session or a missed meal or something, you know, none of us would be where we are. The whole point is like, you know, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better every single day, every single time.
I got dead last at my first show. I got dead last at my first pro show. Like, if I were just to be like, this sport's not for me and just giving up, then it's like I wouldn't be here. So
you know, but something that's so huge to me is a lot of times people have losing is failing, you know what I mean? And that couldn't be furthest from the truth. You know, like, just because you lose doesn't mean you failed. At the end of the day, there's going to be one person that wins. There's going to be one, right? So everybody else, it doesn't mean that they didn't train any harder or any less than the other person. I think you just have to go in and every time you compete, walk away from it and look at the good, look at the bad, look at the things that you need to improve on. And then it's just constantly about getting better. We all improve, from show to show. I think at the end of the day, I always want to just bring my absolute best package at the next show, so you just
Yeah.
gotta continue.
Well, the name of the sport is bodybuilding, and it really is you versus you. Like, it's your improvement every single time you step on stage, because you can't control who's going to show up there. I mean, even, looking at Whitney Jones bowing out, a couple weeks before the Olympia. Like, what if you were one of these low-lying outliers who made it to the Olympia on a point system, and the reigning person or whatever, or someone in the top 5 falls out. This is a spot opening up for you, as far as stepping onto the Olympia stage goes. So it's like all these variables that you can't control, but you focusing on always bringing a better package to stage. And I think, like, what better motivation than the Olympia to bring the best package to stage possible,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think a really important perspective when it comes to not winning and also not failing is that when, for me, like when I don't win, I am never losing to the people in front of me. I'm losing to the fact, or I am not losing. It's, I just didn't bring the version of myself that the judges want to see. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And so I figure out what that version is, and then I'm going to execute that.
Well, they can only judge
Totally.
what's in front of them. And so it doesn't, like, they're not going, oh, it's not just about Melissa looked better than the last time, but also what other improvements did other people bring, and what are we looking for when we look at the panel today? And that's why, I mean, it's a very subjective sport. And so, all you can do is try to continue to improve on your package that you're bringing to stage. Well, this is a convenient photo.
There we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those of you who aren't watching on, on YouTube, we are scrolling through a lot of the top wellness girls as everybody is talking. Marissa, here's your sister.
My little 20. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you tell that we're sisters or not?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. So, I didn't go to, let's find Cass. She's always been like,
She actually just posted, so she's been very secret. We have the same coach. She's been very private about her prep, and today's the first day she's posted without leggings. So it's like,
oh my gosh.
yeah, so that's the first time that she's posted her legs current. So this is her physique at the moment.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All these wellness girls they all look gone. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a
It
freaking
is.
battle. I'm ready.
It's crazy to me how quickly so many people were able to just move up into this division. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they were just hiding behind trees, waiting for like the Olympia to say, hey, we're gonna do a wellness division. And then it's like, bam, here they all are.
I think all of these girls obviously existed, but I think they were really finishing relatively low in the rankings of like figure or bikini, and they just didn't have like a home for them. And then wellness came, and it was like, here we go, and all of these girls just hop in. And I love the wellness division. I think it's a really, really flattering, pleasing physique. I'm pumped for it, to be honest. I think it is going to be a battle. I think, like I said, nothing is for certain,
Yeah.
So, but that's the beauty of it. People want to go and see a show, and I think all of these divisions, especially wellness, they're gonna put on a show. It's gonna be a battle for that top 5 position.
These girls, like, you could only start turning pro in wellness last year. So it's like last year, like a year and a half. And so it's been like these girls are all new. So everyone that's like a dark horse or like new to the sport still has like a really good shot about taking top five, because it's like, I know that there's a lot of the Brazilian girls who have been doing this for so long, and that's why top five was all Brazil last year. But these American girls, like, we're making some noise. Like, we're coming
Mhm.
up. Like, I know Sunny got third at Arnold. Like, it's gonna be a battle for sure. And I think that there's going to be such, not like a huge upset, but like it's gonna, things are gonna be shaken up. People that were top five last year are not gonna be top five this year. And they're saying some of the girls that were top five may not even get second call outs. So it's gonna be it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
Something interesting about the wellness division, with even with NPC, when I was at a couple of shows in the past few months, I noticed the wellness division on the NPC level is more impressive and competitive than other divisions. And I think that is because your legs for wellness have to be so developed to be wellness that even these NPC girls, I mean, I was at the show a couple weeks ago in Orlando. And it was like some of them looked like they could be pros. Obviously there were a lot of amateur looking competitors, but the quantity of really high level people who are on the NPC level is it like no other division is like that.
These national shows are fierce.
Mhm.
Wellness girls are coming for blood at national shows. It's really cool to go watch.
This is so, she has such a cute, um, it's like your mom is a competitor. Like she just looks like, I don't know, like she has this freak body on this little sweet face. It's so, I just love her look. Like, look at her face. She's just a little doll.
I
Yeah.
love her fashion sense.
Yeah.
She's always dressed so cool. Like, she always comes to registration in like these sick like street clothes and fashion, and I'm like, I just dress me. Can you dress me for check-ins, please? Like, holy shit.
So cute. Oh my gosh. And yeah, and you know what? I think what's funny too is it kind of shows you how much these bikini girls are really fighting not growing their lower half. Like, I think a
Hmm.
woman's body is just designed, like we're designed to be squatting and growing, because our lower bodies, a lot of us tend to be thicker. So it just works. I just love the division. I just love it.
So,
Um, who else are we missing here? Um, Marissa, do you have any input on some of these names? Do you have the names in front of you?
I
Um,
can have them in like milliseconds. Let me
um,
find it.
who is, see, like, I just want to, this is like, this woman is from South Korea. Who is Hannah Sun?
I don't actually know, but okay, so we've looked at Francielli, Isa,
Yep.
Yurishna Sunny, Juju Cass. Um,
Like, who's this
oh,
girl?
Ryan Fogal. Ryan Fogal is also very
Okay.
highly ranked.
All right.
Oh, and Giselle.
Giselle Machado. Yeah,
Mhm.
those are the other two that we're looking at top 10.
Giselle.
Oh,
How do you? Oh,
GIS.
yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Machado.
Hmm.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
She is. So she was supposed to compete at Olympia last year, and because of her visa, she wasn't able to come in.
Mm.
And I believe the same thing with Ryan.
Wow.
I like her energy a lot. If you read all of her posts, everything she posts is like, thank God for getting, she's just
Yeah. Oops, sorry. Yeah.
positivity. And I love that.
Yeah.
And she's one of the people that will consistently like comment on my pictures, reply to my stories. Like, she's like, obviously she's coming for blood. She looks phenomenal, but it's like it is a competition against her versus her, and she doesn't take that out on the other competitors. And that's something that I love about this girl.
This,
It's like, yeah.
She said like she like radiates like joy.
Yeah, like I would go like if she were to text me and be like, "Hey, I'm in Michigan, want to go work out?" and I'll be 3 weeks out from competing against her, I'd be like, "Yeah, like I really do. Let's hang out. Do you want to like a protein coffee with me?" Like, she's fun.
You guys touch on a little bit about the camaraderie that has come about from bodybuilding. Like, what have you discovered? I feel like people talk about women in this world being so catty and awful, like corporate work world or whatever. Like, what have you discovered from being involved in this sport?
On the IFBB level, the camaraderie is incredible. Like there's I tell NPC competitors this all the time. Once you make that jump to the IFBB backstage, you're hanging out with your friends. Like it's the support. I mean, I've been bodybuilding for 10 years almost, and in the last really year, I have been living around other bodybuilders who do what I do, and everyone is just like, it's this focus on yourself, but we all know that it's not selfish because we're all doing it, and then we all support each other doing it, and like want to like give tips and everything, and generally each of us is receptive, because we know that everyone is good at what they're doing, so we can always learn. I think it's the camaraderie is unreal. I'm
And
extremely like grateful and life changing.
and I think if you're not that way, like the idea of that like petty, that the competitiveness, not competitive, but like the toxic competitiveness, if you were like that, you're an outlier, and then you're kind of known for that energy. So it's like it's not the norm to be like a mean girl in this sport, like against the people like in your category. Like if you were like that, or you're like if you lose and you start booing, like you become like that's not the norm. So it's like kind of expected to like have this respect because you personally what we go through. Like there's nobody else on the planet that understands just how hard it is other than the girl that's standing right freaking next to you doing the same thing, working just as hard. So yeah, no, it's amazing. I love it. Me and my
I,
there's Sunny. Me and Sunny FaceTime. People ask all the time if Sunny and I are like cutthroat, if we're like butting heads. I can literally show you my phone log. We FaceTime like 10 times a day. Like when we're doing cardio, we'll FaceTime, we'll shoot the shit. She'll be like, guess what I got? I had 500 grams of sweet potatoes today. And I'll be like, bitch, I had 75. Like, like it's just so much fun to like talk about this stuff, and like, you know, it's fun. Like her doing well is not going to make me do worse. Like it's not like I can't remember the word in business, but it's like
The
it's
scarcity, whatever.
yeah.
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 It
She's
doesn't.
come so far too. She's amazing.
Brooke, give us
Yeah.
your 2 cents.
So I think when it comes to bodybuilding, I think some of my best relationships that I have are from bodybuilding. There's people in this industry, in this sport, that I will be friends with for the remainder of my life, and it's all through bodybuilding. So like I feel like I'm gonna get emotional talking about that, but um bodybuilding means so much to me, and not even from the competitive side. I truly enjoy it. I enjoy all the relationships that I've had and the girls that I've got to know and get to talk to. Even going into this Olympia prep, there's girls that have reached out to me that I'm going to be competing against in 3 weeks, and we're in it together. I'm going to stand right on stage, right alongside her, and I'm going to cheer her on, and she's going to do the same thing for me. So we support one another because we get it. We do understand how hard it is. And at the end of the day, these events, they're so amazing because we don't get to see each other every day. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be the Olympia, and you're going to be in a group of like-minded individuals that you're not going to be able to see for maybe another year. So the energy is just unreal, and it's just something like I feel like I'm still on a high from that energy from last year. So the excitement that I have going into this year's Olympia, just purely based off of being around all of my people, that excites me. I'm looking forward to it, and I think like I said, I'm forever grateful for bodybuilding. There's tons of people in this sport that I will cherish for the remainder of my life, and I would have never had the opportunity to meet them if I hadn't competed.
Yeah.
Melissa is
I
one of
think-
those people for me,
Yeah.
literally.
I think a big thing is we go to a place in our heads that other people haven't been, don't know how to get there, don't even know that it exists.
Don't know how to push through. Yeah.
And when there's a there's a depth to that in our fellow competitors, that I think takes our relationships like beyond a surface level. That when the people that I have in my life now, there's something that, when I see people in the normal world, there's a shallowness that's like they're not connecting any deeper, they're not able to, and they don't even know what else is there. It's we I don't know, we have something in us that we can share, a place that we go that no one else has been, and it's ours. And I think since we're all there together, it's really something unlocks when you can share that.
So like this is gonna make me cry, but I was thinking about how as we go, like even myself on an amateur level, we go through our days thinking about like we're present in everything that we're doing. And everything that we're doing is, eating the way we eat, train the way we do because we love it. And it is for a goal, but it's just crazy to think like there's people all over the world that are in my exact same mindset, going through their days, doing all the, like, that's where I think the camaraderie is, because, it's not about the Olympia stage or the final, like, because we know like there's no end to it. It's the living on whatever level you can do that day in, day out. And I know like I'm measuring out my food on a daily basis the same way Brooke is, and we're both going to the gym and you know what I mean, but in different areas. And like I think that's where the connection is. It's not about wanting to you know be something great or make this huge impact. It's just the lifestyle that we chose because we appreciate the struggle and the regimen and everything. And being that type of person is what brought us all together. And I just think it's so cool,
It's knowing that if going all the way is available and you know it's there, you know how to do it, why would you not? We would all be so incredibly unsatisfied if we had all the pieces to be here, but we just chose to sit right here.
Yeah.
It would be so empty.
Moments before I jumped on this call, I know that I was distracted a couple minutes late, but I was ugly crying, like ugly crying. And it was about this. And I posted this video. I'm literally gonna start shaking it. I'm not good at being vulnerable, especially on the internet. And bodybuilding, I know, Doug, we talked about it a little, but it legitimately, like, it saved my life. And I always keep video diaries of everything. Like, I try to at least once a week just sit down in front of my camera and just talk about what's going on, how I'm feeling. And some of those memories from years past before I started bodybuilding were really, really dark. And I was watching them back and I was like, this girl was so broken and nobody was fighting for her. And I was in a relationship where the person looked at me and was like, you're never going to be shit. Like, you on my list of priorities, you don't even make the cut. Like, and that was what I thought I deserved. And I didn't have the strength I do now. And people, like, there is no end goal. I'm not chasing an Olympia title. I'm not chasing an Arnold title. I'm not chasing victory. I'm chasing happiness and this person that I want to be. And it seems so small, like weighing out your food, waking up and forcing yourself to do cardio. But I shared this video of me happy and dancing in a check-in video, and then immediately like me in the middle of a depression spiral. And the outpour of people that are like, this is literally me now. This is why I'm doing this. There's a girl who messaged me. Oh, this is what got me. She messaged me a picture of her, and she is fighting for her life through anorexia right now. And she messaged me that the only reason, or she said that she was fighting because of me. And I've been messaging her. I had no idea. And we've been talking for like a year. And it's just, you don't realize how important this sport is to people. Like she texted me, she's like, she's like, I moved up from 5 pound like lateral raises to 10 pounds. And she's all of like 60 pounds and 5'6". And it's just it I'm like trying so hard not to start bawling because that's not cute. But it's like you don't like it means so much more. It's not just looking good and flexing in a mirror. It's not just getting on stage in a sparkly I have goosebumps. Like it is saving people's lives, and it's like yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I feel like so many bodybuilders start from such a broken place, and they find this sport and they find a reason to live, not to sound dramatic, but like they find their strength and the power to keep going.
I think purpose a lot of times comes from understanding that you can conquer the next thing. Once you've conquered something, it's like, I did that. And then you're like, if I did that, I can do the next one. And I think that that's what starts to pull those pieces together.
Yeah. We just never could have, I think any of us could have looked back on our lives 10 or 20 years ago, or, whatever your time frame is, and never would have guessed that we would have been through so much and made it through so much. But I think it's in a lot of that daily, I'm going to do this today for me. Like, I'm going to eat this healthy meal for me. I'm going to go to the gym for me. And it's all of those day after day being present in that day that adds up to, I feel like I'm in control of my life. I can handle a struggle that's thrown my way. Like, this is the beauty of this sport. It teaches you a strength and a discipline that you can't get from anywhere else. And, it's not, like I said, it's not about a goal. A lot of people, oh, I want to compete. And it's like, you have to love the lifestyle, and you have to be able to live the lifestyle day after day after day, because nobody who's in this for the long haul thought about being in it for the short haul,
Mm-hmm. Or even thought about, I mean, for me, like, I didn't think about 10 years ahead. I was just like,
Yeah.
this feels like what I need to do. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to check all my boxes. And as you check your boxes, things come to fruition. And then it's just a cycle like that. And why, like, I was just listening to Joe Rogan this morning, and he was talking about, someone said that, being a comedian is hard. And he said, well, being a doctor is hard. Being, an extreme sport athlete is hard, and being a comedian, it could be hard, but if you enjoy it, if you enjoy the hard parts, hard isn't negative. Why would you do something that's not hard? Where's the satisfaction in that?
Yeah.
Everything that you choose to do should be hard if you're going to get something out of it.
Yeah. We don't appreciate, and I think that's it too, because you could give any person off the street, Brooke's physique or Melissa's physique or Marissa's physique or my physique, and they wouldn't appreciate it, nor would they be able to keep it. This is about the day after day after day. I mean, if you take any breaks or any time off, there's setbacks, and you have to get back on your game. I mean, this is the difference. It is absolutely a lifestyle. And if you want to appreciate what, these Olympians are living, then you have to live it day after day after day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't force yourself to, you know?
Yeah.
If it is like, some days it's like pulling teeth, some days it is, but there's still that drive that's like,
Yeah.
you know,
You still want it.
Mhm.
right, you want it. Like I posted the other day, fuck your feelings. It's like, this is, you know, you're gonna do it anyway. So whether you're gonna turn it over in your head and think about it a lot, it's got to get done.
Yeah.
People ask that all the time. They're like, how do you do it? And it's like,
Fuck your feelings.
yeah, you just do. Like, it's, what do you mean? How do you do it? They're like, what is your secret? It's like, no, you just do it. Like, you tell your brain to go fuck itself. It's lying to you. Like, you just make it happen anyway. I like to do this exercise with my brain to show that, like, you don't have to believe everything your brain is saying, where I'll be like, I'm not going to drink water right now. I'm not drinking water. I don't know how to drink water. And then I'll drink water. And I'm like, oh wow, look at that. Your brain's an idiot. Like, just over, like, small little things that just like show you that you're more powerful than what this organ in your head is saying. You know, it's
I
just a
do
bunch of
this.
cells. It doesn't mean shit.
I do this thing with water too, especially in prep when I'm like, really, you know, like I have to get it in.
Hmm.
I'll be like, you know, I'm taking 20 chugs of my water right now. I'm not gonna put it down until I get the 20 chugs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's like, it doesn't matter if I'm like need to breathe or whatever. I'm getting my 20 chugs. I'm not gonna put it down.
And that bottle's not leaving your hand until 20.
I do that like almost every time I drink. Like if I'm like, I need to drink a bunch of water, I'm like six gulps. You know what I mean? Like you tell yourself, like, rather than just sipping your water or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, this whole thing, you have to want better for yourself. And I think that's kind of, the secret, even if somebody's just trying to get healthy. And Marissa, they're asking you like what your secret is. It's like, I want this for myself. And I think any one of us would feel horrible if we did anything less than what we were capable of doing and pushing ourselves beyond what we thought we could do. Marissa, you talked about this on our interview as well, how, you were like, there's no way I'm going to be able to squat this much and I would fail. And then the next week I'm like, I can do this. And you'd put the weight on the bar and you'd be able to do it. So it's like, yeah, going
But
through.
if I didn't fail last week, there was no way I could have done it this week.
Yeah.
Without a chance.
Yeah. Going through every day, what am I capable of? And stacking those days, but I think being present in them as well, and not just like, oh, once I lose my 10 pounds, I'm done. No, it's like the day after day after day. That's what gets you to where you want to be, and you have to keep going. So, ugh.
I do this thing when I do cardio. Right now, like I'm really enjoying my cardio. I like stare at the wall. I listen to like headbanging music. I'm like fighting like the whole time, and
Melissa,
I'm not even
having a rave in her head.
Literally, like
literally same.
I told my friends the other day, I was like, when I'm doing cardio, I'm at a festival for 45 minutes to an hour.
This is why we're best friends. Literally same.
Yeah, it's like I'm like on the treadmill. I'm like, but I don't even look at the time right now, because like I'm that is the time when I'm in my head. Like you say, get out of your head. I'm all the way in my head. I don't even see what I'm looking at. I am just like in here, like fight mode for an hour. And sometimes a thought will cross my mind. I always start my cardio at 3. I do treadmill. I start at 3.5 speed, and then I'll get up to 4. And I'm like, I'll feel my feet are burning, my ankles are burning, whatever it is. And I'm like, the only way for this to like get better is to just keep going, just get through it, because I have to get through it anyway. So I'm like, shut it off. I don't feel it. Like I tell myself that. I'm like, it's not there. It can't be there, because I got to get this done. Because if I stop, well, then what? Then I didn't complete it. And then it doesn't make my shins feel any better. And it also doesn't check my box. So just get through it anyway. And then, you know, in my head, I'll hear myself be like, turn the speed up. And then I'm like, am I
That's
ready
so
for that?
badass. That's
Um,
so badass.
well, I guess I am, because I said it in my head. Now there's no going back.
Yeah.
I heard this motivational speech that was talking about it's like he was a professor and he's had kids come to him crying because they were so upset. And he's like, you're already crying. Why are you keep going? Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. If you're already in pain, if it's already burning, your ankles are on fire, the soles of your feet are on fire. Why are you like you're already in pain? At least get something out of it. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So, I want to ask a couple of prep questions. So, Brooke, what are your days looking like now? How much cardio are you doing? And
So literally my days vary. Like Matt is so in control and in tune with me right now. I'll have high days, low days on carbs. I'll have high days, low days on cardio. So it truly just depends. Like today I had to do 90 minutes of cardio. So, but it hasn't been 90 minutes every day this whole prep, but we've had a few high cardio days, and tomorrow I'll bump it back down, kind of depending on how I look. So just kind of truthfully depends on the day right now going forward on how I look.
you probably, I would guess, are doing more cardio now in Florida because you kind of took away your activity of your day, right? Like your days are usually so active.
No, I wouldn't say that, because in years past, there was times last year when I remember specifically doing, like, I remember and again, this is like people will hear the number like, oh, they did 2 hours of cardio, that's crazy. But it wasn't for 16 weeks that I did 2 hours of cardio. You know what I mean? Like, again, it was like I've always cycled with cardio for whatever reason. That's just something that kind of like I don't mind doing, and it's work for my body. So doing 90 minutes of cardio at this point, it doesn't bother me. If I'm being honest, it was harder for me to implement like my 30 minutes of cardio when I first started my prep. You know, now I look forward to doing my cardio because I get in my zone. I'm there. I got to think about what I got to get through the day, why I'm doing this. And there's not one cardio session that I complete that I don't feel good about. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh God, I did it, you know? So obviously nobody wants to do crazy amounts of cardio, but I truthfully don't mind it either. So if I got to do that to come in a little bit better, I'm definitely willing to do that. But I've actually tightened up a lot here because I'm not on my feet all the time. So, you know, whenever I'm at home, I work like 12 hours a day. So being here, all I have to do is worry about what I got to do. So I'm not really on my feet for 12 hours. So taking things away from just like everyday stressors or inflammation and swelling on my legs has been like a game changer for me. So I'm pretty grateful for that. Rest is huge, and I've been able to do a lot of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And especially we have like what, like 19 days left. It's like if you know, if you're like, oh, do 2 hours of cardio, it's like you can do any like take 2 days off before the show. Let's say like 16 days. Okay. 16 cardio sessions. That's nothing. That's literally you can do anything 16 times. Like
Yeah.
that's yeah.
That's like that is a psychology thing as well. Like you can do anything as long as you know when the end point is going to be for that.
Okay.
You know, so
Mhm.
I mean, that's why it's nice to kind of do, you know, whatever your fitness goals are in little bits of spurts and take breaks, whether it's like diet breaks or, you know, deloads from the gym or whatever too. I think that's like, yeah, if you say, hey, I'm going to do this for the next 6 weeks, you can because you know it will end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys, I have one kind of obscure question that I wanted to ask you because I like recently just like I never really thought about this, but I wanted to ask you, do you have a constant internal dialogue going on in your head, like as your day, like you're going through your day? Like
100.
Yes. Do people not? I was waiting for the question. Is that oh, that's the question? Yes.
they do.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize that. Like I saw this TikTok, this guy was asking about this and like I was reading the comments and then I like read another, like I saw a couple more TikToks where they were talking about internal dialogue and this guy had this video. He was like, this is literally what it sounds like. And it's just like, you know, like like I will even have conversations with myself, like do you talk to yourself? I talk to myself like out loud.
Oh, yes. Daily.
I've been talking
When
to myself in my head this whole time. Yeah, absolutely. I'm
all
like,
the
all
time.
right, it's 5:27. That means I have 33 minutes until my next like just
I-
like did I hit my water? Did I hit the step? Like, yeah.
It's strange because it's not like I've thought about this. I think about this a lot. And it's like it's an internal dialogue. And my question to people is always, what does it sound like? Because it's not even words. It's like thoughts that you then can like formulate out loud,
Yeah.
but it's not words, it's not a sound. I've had people say, oh, it's my voice. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not
Yeah.
your voice, because if
But
you heard your own voice all the time, it wouldn't be so weird to hear yourself talk.
but
Yeah.
also like there's the dialogue of like the processes of what you're doing, like it's constantly like I'm doing this, oh I forgot I need to go do this, you know, like if you actually, some of that stuff is your voice saying things as well, like
Mine is like in the mornings when I'm like getting my shit together for the day, I'm like doing like 15 things at once. I'm like, oh, I have to do that and that's over there, and I have to grab that. And then like sometimes I get mixed up and I'll like put something like, I don't know, like my vape in the fridge or something. I'm like, wait, that was the wrong one. So there's so many things. It's that executive function.
Wires crossed.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Like there's so many, and I know what all needs to be done, but I'm just like telling myself the order, and then it's like, okay, I've done this and this, so now I have to do this, this, and this in this order, and I can do this while I do this to make the most out of my time. I'm with you.
yeah, I just wondered because I guess there are people that it's actually like quiet in their brains, and
My dad is like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't hear a voice in his head. Like I don't know, it's like been a thing in our family. He only thinks in pictures. Like he can't hear voices in his head.
Mm.
And like that, I don't fundamentally understand it, but like that's his reality. He's like, he's like, I never hear a song in my head. I never hear words in my head. I just see things. And I'm like, that is
So this is the opposite end of it, is when you, like if I said close your eyes and picture an apple, can you clearly picture an apple, or is it like either your brain says apple, or is there nothing there, or is there something like a faint outline? Like there's different gradations of it. But I struggle with picturing stuff in my head, and I was thinking about how, you know, like you'd be in school, your teacher would be like, oh, close your eyes and imagine, like you're in art class, imagine a stream and a waterfall. And I just feel like I'm not here. Like I don't get this at all. Like,
I think I can picture things in my head very well. And I think that helps a lot with biomechanics and training, because
yeah,
as I'm training, I'm visualizing what's happening according to my anatomy.
yeah. I think I need mirrors
Mm-hmm.
and see what's going on.
yeah, I think I can hear words in my head, but I think in like I think in pictures too. Like if I'll do cardio the entire time, like yes, I'm like dancing, I'm at like a rave, I listen to the music and I like in my head I'm dancing, but like more often than not that right now, I will literally like close my eyes and just imagine that I'm on the Olympia stage. Like I will literally like walk and I literally will like be doing my routine in my head. I will like watch myself out of body doing my routine. I will imagine how good it feels actually winning. And I will relive those moments over and over. And it's like, if I stop this cardio now, I'm not going to be lean enough to win. So we're just going to keep going. Or like I'll imagine be like, if I get on stage and I'm not lean enough, how would that feel? Do not stop that treadmill. Like that kind of like I will live through and visualize that over and over. And that
Yeah.
may be psychotic, but
Mine is more like a mantra, like I'm repeating words, but I have a tough
really,
time visualizing things.
I flip between, I'll notice myself visualizing myself from an out of body outside. But I took a kinesiology course in college where we learned about how when you visualize things from your own perspective, it has more like it sticks in your brain better because it's actually you doing it.
Yeah.
Because when you're actually doing something, you don't see you doing it. So I'll like switch perspectives from like outside of myself, and I'll be like, no, no, no. I have to do it as if I'm on the stage looking out in the crowd and feel my body and not look at myself in order to gain that control over myself.
This is craziness. This got way too deep.
I love it.
Just our brains,
Seriously.
All right, ladies. Well, I so appreciate your time. And, obviously the invitation is extended if next week, if, Brooke or Marissa, if this is helping you guys stay on track, for sure, we're down for this. So just let us know how you're feeling. This podcast is going to post on like Wednesday or Thursday because I had an interview with Ariel, which will post on Monday. And so we'll watch for them. I'll make sure to tag you all and everything like that. So any final words? Anybody?
See you guys in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Woo!
You there.
Vegas.
See you in Vegas, baby.
Everybody, thanks for listening and watching to another episode of the Women's Fittest. You can find us all on Instagram. And Brooke bowed out. She's gone.
She literally was like, it's been real. It's time for my next meal. Bye, guys.
I gotta pee. You can find us all on our Instagrams. You guys know what we are. So anyways, remember that healthy looks different on everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.